Now, the news. The future of guns is often driven by things happening in warfare around the world and the need to constantly evolve the weapons that are being used by troops all over. Well, now we have another thing that could potentially have some trickle-down technology, and I thought it was cool, so I wanted to share it with you guys. It's called the SSRS, and it was part of the U.S. Army's X-Tech Soldier Lethality Competition. What a name. And they were looking for a precision grenadier rifle. Yes, a precision grenadier rifle, aka a very accurate way to place various payloads into various areas and have a variety of effects. The competition was won by a company called Mars Inc. out of Montana, and they were partnered with Beretta rifles. The idea is that soldiers can now have a magazine-fed, precise rifle that is easily portable and, as the name suggests, very lethal. The things that I currently think could trickle down from this into the commercial firearms would be things like recoil mitigation, sighting systems, rifling technology, and magazines. Besides that, it's just freaking awesome and looks like it was ripped right out of Call of Duty. On top of that, the guys behind this SSRS are also behind a company called Olympus Arms out of Montana, who make a really interesting reciprocating barrel AR-10 type thing that gave James Reeves a bunch of issues when he was doing a review on it a while back. It's a really neat idea, and hopefully those issues have been addressed by now. This was a while ago that he looked at it. Oddly enough, there's enough money here to allow that company, Olympus Arms, to spend $50 million on a spot in Helena. Government contract money is a real thing, and I suppose now that they've been tied to Beretta and won this big competition, we could see more coming from them down the road. I'd love to know what you guys think about this thing down in the comments, because to me, it's freaking cool. I want one. I don't know if I'll ever get one, but I want one. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton, and I have some pretty big news for you guys to share later in this episode, so stick around, and if you haven't yet, get subscribed, because you just won't want to miss it. I don't want you to miss it. How about that? I don't want you to miss it, and that's why you should be subscribed. Moving on, a company called Italian Firearms Group is importing a new lever gun from a brand called Pedersoli. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but the gun is really interesting. It's called the Boar Buster Apocalypse, and they claim that it is the ultimate evolution of the lever action rifle. Okay. At the core, you have a 4570 lever gun that has a 17-inch threaded barrel. Then you have some M-lock slots on the forward portion of the handguard, followed by a leather patch, I guess, that's stitched onto the handguard behind that. And on top is a pick rail with a peep sight in the rear and a fiber optic front. Then out back is the stock that has some leather on the grip portion and adjustable cheek riser portion. Then you have the copper Cerakote and what appears to be gray tones on the stock, gray, greenish, whatever that is. I can't decide if you know what? Let's just be serious. I love the damn thing. I think I love it. I can't ever hide my love for weird guns. Whatever makes this the ultimate lever action, they didn't say. I don't know what makes it the ultimate, because I also have never shot one of these things, but it is pretty cool looking. MSRP is $27.05, which, as we say around here, that's not cheap. So it better be damn good for that money. Bond Arms has a new derringer called the First Lady. The description of this thing says that it was created as part of their efforts to honor the first family in the White House. Oddly enough, they didn't do that during the Biden or Obama Oh. I say that this thing was created as a cash grab for morons, just like every other gun themed after a politician. I hate them all. It's chambered in .38 Special, has a 3-inch barrel, and holds 2 rounds, as you can probably tell. And down one side, you have a Cerakoted and then etched flag. And on the other side, a sort of nod to Melania Trump with the First Lady words down there, and the words below that, class, strength, and beauty. And the MSRP for this? $497. There is not a scenario where this is a better option than a semi-auto or something else for that money. I hate it. I hate it. And in guns I might not hate news, Langdon Tactical announced a new Beretta 80X package. Essentially, they have taken a normal ADX from Beretta, they do a trigger job, cut it for a Holosun EPS, and then also do a bevel on the frame and slide. It's almost as if they're acting as like a custom shop for Beretta, as well as a bunch of other brands. Kind of like Shelby did for Ford and Dodge back in the day. The baseline MSRP for the gun with the trigger done up is $755. If you get the optic cut, that adds $100, and then the bevel work adds another $500, likely because they have to recoat everything after that. That brings the MSRP up to $1,375 at the top end. Is a 380 semi-auto worth that much? I don't know, because I haven't shot one, but that sounds pretty neat on the surface. Sounds cool. I think the only thing I would add to this would be a set of sights from this week's sponsor, XS Sights. I've been wanting to work with a company like XS for a long time. They offer sighting solutions for all kinds of brands out there, and a bunch of them are meant to be fast while keeping you accurate. For example, I got these 3-dot sights on the Desert Eagle, the Co-Witness style on the Masada Slim, and another more different set on this VP9 build. And since you watch TGC, they set you guys up with a big discount. If you use our code TGC at xssights.com, you'll save 20%. That's massive. Big thanks to XS Sights for sponsoring this week's video. Let's keep it rolling with this week's friendly fire question. If you want to ask me a question, slam it down in the comments with the words friendly fire so I can go back and find it. Got a good thing going on. You guys are being good at this. And we've got more questions this week. Mike says, if cans come off the NFA, what will happen to the market? Well, at first, supply will dry up like that, and prices will skyrocket as a result of demand. And then we will see a complete shift in the firearms industry as a whole. Integrally suppressed guns will be all over the place. That'll be very common. And everyone will be running cans of some variation on everything. It would change the entire industry in a very big way. Solman says, are you sick of just seeing 9mm guns come out? Yeah, kinda. I get why it's being done, because it's very popular, low on recoil, lots of rounds, I get it. But I want to see them mix it up. 40 Smith & Wesson is a dead cartridge, and 45 ACP is less dead, but not as common as 9 these days. I would love to see more brands doing 45 ACP for sure, or maybe, 30 Super Carry, do a 380 that's cool, or like a 7.5 FK. By the way, we have a gun review coming in 7.5 FK. Yeah, that's coming. We did it, and oh my gosh, that'll be really interesting. Just, you'll have to wait and see that. And Gemma Yellpfeifer, whatever the that is, says, if you were new to shooting, which gun tuber would you choose to teach you? Well, that depends on the discipline, because there's a lot of gun tubers out there that have a ton of knowledge. I think my top 5 would be Mr. Guns and Gear, Tactical Considerations, the Gun Shop out of England for shotgun stuff. That's very important to me. And then Sean from Dangerous Freedom. He's taught a whole bunch of people. And Ben from this channel. That would give me such a well-rounded approach to shooting, which is something I value really highly. I think being well-rounded is almost more important than being an expert in any one discipline. And when I'm talking about Ben, you guys have seen him in a whole bunch of reviews. He's already taught me an incredible amount about precision shooting and also knowing a shitload about why guns fail or underperform. That dude is a Rolodex of knowledge, or sorry, an encyclopedia. What's a new term? He's a Wikipedia of knowledge. My friendly fire question to you guys this week will be later in the episode. How's about some more new stuff with a little rapid fire news? HK is now selling complete MR556A4 uppers separately from the full guns. You can get them with the 11-inch barrel version or the 16.5-inch version, and the MSRPs are not low. Both of these have an MSRP of $2,500 for just the upper. Remember, the full rifle carries an MSRP of over 4 Gs. Rattlesnake Tactical has jumped into the Glock mag market in a big way, sort of, I guess. These are stick mags that hold a normal amount of rounds that I can't say on this platform for fear of being crushed into oblivion, but the thing that makes these interesting is that the MSRP is $6 a piece. Holy crap, right? $6. I have some of these mags on the way to see if they are any good. We'll find out. I'll tell you guys if I find anything one way or the other. The CMP, or Civilian Marksmanship Program, is set to release newly made M1 Garand rifles. Yes, that's correct. They partnered with a company called Heritage Arms and plan to offer these at an MSRP of $1,900. There is no word on how many they will make, but you will be able to get them in both 30-06 or 308. That is pretty interesting to see the CMP getting into manufacturing. of some sort. Magpul released a new QD version of their MOE bipod. MSRP is $80, and that's pretty neat. It attaches, a little quick detach thing. Minuteman Munitions has a new 96 grain solid copper hollow point round that is said to head down range at something like 1,350 feet per second out of a 4-inch barrel. That is ripping fast, and therefore deliver some decent terminal results. The bullets are made by a company called Velocitas. Never heard of them. Could be good. MSRP is $40 for 50 rounds. And Wit Machine and Tool has a new SME or sound mitigation equipment thing that is slimline. This is essentially a blast diverter type product that sends the sound forward instead of outward. It goes out the break and then forward. Both pieces are made from stainless steel, and it weighs 7.9 ounces together as a unit. MSRP is $175, and it can be had 5.56, 30 cal, 6.5, 9mm, or 45 versions. In industry news, B&T USA, along with its parent company B&T AG out of Switzerland, is suing Surefire. They were apparently threatened a couple times by Surefire, which is interesting, and said, you know what?
We are gonna sue you!
The issue at hand is a patent that Surefire has for an attachment method for suppressors. B&T claims that this patent is using their Rotex quick detach suppressor system that was released and being sold prior to this patent that was granted what appeared to be, Google search said 2003 is when that happened. B&T actually went out and announced this lawsuit on their social media as a bit of a middle finger to Surefire. Now, I'm not a patent attorney, but I do know that there will be attorneys making loads of money from this on both sides. If it's true that B&T was out there and that tech was being used and sold here in the US, that could be a good thing for them in this lawsuit. But again, I'm not an attorney. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. Now, that big news, I promise you guys, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. We hit 400,000 subscribers over the weekend on YouTube. I tried all weekend to come up with some kind of way to say thank you, but it's really difficult. I can't really find a way to encompass how grateful I am for you guys for all the years of support. TGC turns 10 later this month. 10 years old. I've been doing this full time for 10 years. And we aren't the fastest growing channel or the most flashy or the most viral, but there have been a bunch of you guys supporting us for a very long time, and I really do appreciate it. And to the new subscribers, there's a bunch of you guys. Thank you for giving a shit. Thanks for trying this out. I try really hard to make sure that the content that goes out here is good, easy to digest, it's honest, and most importantly, fun to watch. I have to say a huge thank you to the editor of all these videos, Izzy. I know he's literally the guy editing this video. He's been with me since 2016 and has dealt with me through a lot of ups and downs over the years. So thanks, Izzy. I really appreciate it. Also, I want to say thank you to Ben and Josh, who have been helping me a lot lately with making the range videos for you guys. And I could not possibly name all of the people that helped us get to this point. That would be ridiculous. It's crazy that I get to do this for a living, and that is because of you guys. So thank you. Now, that friendly fire question that I promised. It's a little complicated. I would like to do something special to celebrate these two milestones that we're hitting sort of back to back. The 10-year thing, we just hit 400K, 10 years is coming up. And I want to do something special for you guys. However, I can't do a giveaway of like a firearm or ammo or something like that because it will get deleted by the tech overlords on these various platforms. So I need your help figuring out a different way to celebrate these milestones in such a way that you guys will all enjoy. I can't come up with any new ideas, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really couldn't do this without you guys, and I want you to know I appreciate the massive support. You guys are incredible. And also, because I haven't done this in a few weeks,